over there hooking that water and drain up. Wanted to show you guys real quick. So this is the phosphate filter that's going to go in that 10-inch filter housing, and this is our 20-inch pre-filter that we're going to throw in. All right, so we're all good. We finished flushing that out, those water filters. Bin's clean. We're going to go ahead and go on. So we're in ice mode right now. We're going to go ahead and turn our control switch to the on position. Pretty good times for this ice machine. You can scoop all these, and ice quality looks like it's pretty good. Yep, those ices look good. All right, so we got a leaking mini split here. It's got a little pump on it on the bottom side of it. Customer thinks, they said they blew out the line and everything, and it still happens to be leaking. They're thinking the pump is bad, so we'll find that out in just a minute here. Looks like this thing, you guys can see, it looks like this thing is like a little bent inwards. There's like a bend in it. I don't think that should affect it though. Visibly see it is not pumping right now. So that thing is full. We have it on the lowest setting, and it's flash, and it has a red light on it. We have a red light on it, and we have no water going through the tube. So we looks like we have that pump. We'll check the power. We're getting a new pump. All right, I'm back here now. Got the new pump, Gobi 2 pump. We're gonna go ahead install this thing and get it in a mini split. So I'll tear this apart, see what's going on, and then get to it. Scott mentioned a thermostat not really working very well.
Yes.
You know where that's at?
Cafe kitchen, right?
What was that?
You were just in the cafe.
Yes,
kitchen.
I was.
Yeah, so it's this thermostat right here.
Oh, gotcha. It was a thermostat for a reach-in. Gotcha.
It's reading 32 right now. The thermostat's in here, but you have to take this whole unit apart.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Gotcha. It's reading 32 on there.
Yeah.
And so what's going on with it? Is it just going too low in temperature? Or is it
I don't
not?
know which way is the right way. I turn it all the way counterclockwise.
Yeah.
It freezes. I turn it clockwise. It still freezes.
It still freezes.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
This whole morning I turned it one way. And probably like 2 hours ago I turned it the other way.
And it's right here in this section right here. Where you kind of. All right. So this is the skid for this unit. This unit is a remote style unit. Right now we're probably about 10 minutes in and we're reading about 37.2 degrees. So it looks like it's within range. However, this thing just keeps turning on and then turning off. I want to check pressures, see what's going on here, if we're actually satisfying, but then maybe we have a leaking solenoid valve that it keeps energizing this unit, so it keeps cooling it over and over again, because that fan is going to be running constantly no matter what. And the evap fan is going to be running constantly no matter what. Oh, don't open that. Back that up. So if this thing keeps turning on because the pressure keeps going up, it could have potentially keep cooling the system if we're bypassing. So let's see, because right now we're not running. Whoops, there we go. We just turned on again. But we're staying right around 37, but we keep slowly coming down more and more and more and more. And then this is for our low pressure switch, so it should already be, I didn't even need to take off that cap. So we are at negative 16.5 psi, which is a negative 20 degree coil. That is very low. So let's check this high side, see what's going on. But we just satisfied. Let's turn this gauge on. Reading 180 psi on the high side. .2, 26.3. We're still slowly opening. Looks like we just satisfied and we're coming straight down. Probably about 70 degrees down here. So we're looking like we're low on charge at the moment. Check the pressure switch in the back. Not seeing anything. But my high side is at 187 right now. I want to see when it ends up turning off again, because it seems like my head pressure isn't really increasing much. My compressor head is hot. Alright, so just talked to the customer. This thing did end up coming down to freezing temperatures after I blocked that coil. We're gonna change the thermostat. We ended up changing these thermostats a while ago. They're the dial thermostats that with the probes that stick into the coil and read coil temperature to be able to shut off. But this coil is going down in a negative temperature and that thing still isn't reading. I ended up replacing the other 2-drawer unit that's over closer by the walk-in door with a regular pen dial thermostat that you use for walk-ins, and they haven't had any issues with that. So since we just changed that one out, we're gonna end up changing that one out on Monday, because I have to take that whole drawer system apart and everything in order to get that installed. So it's gonna take like a couple hours to be able to do that. And I also notified him about the leak that's going on. I scanned this whole entire condenser coil and I couldn't find it. So we gotta scan that whole evaporator, figure out where this leak is at. He would like us to do that on Monday because they are closed on Monday. So we will go ahead and do that on Monday. We'll go ahead and schedule that for that. I'll talk to my dispatcher, let him know I gotta get back out here. Issue is not fixed. All right, what is up, y'all? We've got a walk-in cooler and a gas station down right now. So I can see all my fans are running right now, every single one of them. We've got a KE2 right there showing that 57.8 degrees is what it is right now inside of here. All fans are running. Oil. All right, so we've got the walk-in right here. The fans are running. Coil looks pretty clear. Has some dust on it, but shouldn't be affecting how it runs. Does sound like my compressor's on. Sight glass, if you guys can see that, is flashing. It looks like it's probably, it looks like it's kind of like 3/4 full, but it is flashing. There is liquid in it. See any oil stains, just a ton of rust. All right, we'll open up these king valves. All right, so we're looking at 83 psi on the high and negative 14 psi on the low. Ambient's looking like we got a 78.6 degree ambient, so we're only 6 degrees above ambient right now. Let's turn off our system. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. What is our superheat? Of course, our superheat's gonna be extremely high. Superheat is 72. Yep. So it's looking like we're low on charge. All right, back in the walk-in cooler. We're gonna go ahead and shut off these fans. And then we're gonna go ahead and leak search. That's going off. It's just going off. Look, we've got bubbles. Let's just spray the heck out of it. So that walk-in box, I mean, you guys saw on the camera, is just completely destroyed. There is moisture getting in all over the box, all into the box. There's panels coming off from the ceilings. That whole box overall needs to get replaced. So that leak was clearly somewhere in the coil. It sounded like it was coming from the U-tubes, but I could not locate exactly where it was coming from. I covered that whole entire thing in soap bubbles. And my leak detector, you guys saw too, you guys heard it. I wasn't even able to get close into that compartment without it just going off. So I couldn't exactly pinpoint exactly where it was, but I mean, that thing is 29 years old, almost 30 years old. These systems are really only made, warranty only lasts for what, 5 years on these systems. These things, manufacturers say that they only were supposed to last for about 15 years. They got almost double that out of this system right here. So let the owner know that, of course, no one's too delighted to know that they need all new everything for the whole walk-in box. So we got to send our construction side over there. This is a little bit more for our, this is a little bit too much for our service side. Guys from construction need to get over there, and then they'll take a look at everything, see exactly what they need, and then build them a quote, most likely for a minimal requirement for what they're going to need in order to get that unit running. And then a unit like, hey, this is what we're going to need to get this unit up to perfect standard. All right, what's going on, y'all? Here looking at a package unit today. So we got this package unit. We've been having some issues with it. Last tech diagnosed that it seems like there was an airflow issue and also an overcharging issue. So we ended up quoting a to pull all the refrigerant out of the system, see what the total charge is in the system, and then also to replace this fan motor, because whoever ended up replacing this fan motor at one point ended up replacing it with a single speed fan motor instead of the OEM one, which is a 3-speed, I believe. new motor right here. Alright. This one, okay, this one requires a 15 microfarad cap. Up here, and just in case our coil was restricted and dirty, it didn't look like it was completely plugged in there, but it did look like there might have been some dirt inside of the tubes, inside of the coil, and not just surface dirt. So I ended up cleaning that out, used some water with the wand. Unfortunately, you have to take the blower wheel out in order to do that, so I took that out real quick and I washed that coil. And then, since I have the hose up here anyway, I'm going to take these side panels off for this condenser coil and then wash it with some chemicals. What's going on, guys? So just finished up with that call. So as you know, I hooked up subcooling for 15 degrees. I let the customer know everything that that was going on with the unit, that is 21 years old. It's not going to perform as well as it once did before. Maybe he should start thinking into probably getting it replaced sometime soon. But other than that, they do have a mini split in there, as well as and that package unit, all helping cool that space. You know, it's 105 degrees out right now. It was 100 degrees right there where I was next to the unit, so it's pretty hot. And just like some of you guys experienced guys may know, you know, these systems aren't made to be used in over 100-degree heat. You know, that's when they start messing up. That's when we start having all these issues. But other than that, let him know. Just, you know, being honest with the customer. And he really appreciated the work that we did today. So, you know, he's gonna give us a call back. He was happy with everything that we did. We did our best, do everything. You know, system's up and running again. We got that fan motor in there with the 3 speeds, tested all 3 speeds. You know, everything's working good. Did an overall check on the whole entire unit, cleaned those coils, brand spanking new pretty much. And, you know, probably gave this thing gave him at least till all the way up until the end of summer. So other than that, well, that was this service call over here in Colfax. But if you guys have anything else you guys want to input, just leave it down in the comment section down below. And peace. All right, so we're here working on a small reach-in. It is a beverage air reach-in, and we have a bad evap coil today is what we are working on. We got a leaking evap coil, so we got this coil in. It's an R290 system right here, and we're going to add on some service ports onto this unit. All right, so we're going to take these off. stab this cap tube in here. Yep. Perfect. Alright, be careful not to bend it. You can bend it, but don't kink it. And it appears that we are going to have to heat up that suction line fitting for the evap. Now let's get it in. So, got the nitro on the test setting. We'll go to 100 psi first on both sides. For a second, feel around, make sure we have no leaks, and then we'll go ahead and go to 150 psi. Like so, 150 on both sides. We'll close both lines, and then we'll just let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then we'll see if it starts moving at all. Nitrogen test held at 150 psi for about 18 minutes. No leaks whatsoever. We're gonna throw this on a vacuum now. I'm just open the valve up slowly. So, and now we'll watch the microns. Coming down, 60,000, 50,000, 36,000. Coming down quick. It's another good sign that we may not have a leak. Once we hit about 3,000, 2,500, I like to close that ballast. So we're at 2,400 now. So we're gonna go ahead and close our gas ballast. All right, close that down. So we'll check everything, make sure it's tight. Still coming down. All right, so let that run here for a second. We'll clean up a couple more tools, even though they shouldn't be doing that in the first place. All right, that's all good. Now it's time to go ahead and grab some lunch. I'll see y'all after I'm done eating. We'll double check this microns right now. Yep, we are at 470. Yep, so everything's looking good. So we'll let that run for a little while, make sure it gets all the moisture out of the system, and we'll check back on it after we're done eating. All right, so vacuum's all done. I got it turned off. I got my valves closed. Micron's reading 540. .12 ounces. Got 1 ounce. Come on. There wasn't very much left in this R290 canister, so we should be able to get to it though. It's 2. And then remember, we got to braze these service ports shut, so we're going to give it an extra 2 ounces for anything that we might spill out. So we'll go to about 2.3 is what we're going to try to go to. So we're at 2.2. There we go. High side is this one. Low side is this one. All right. 114 psi about on both sides. 71 degree coil. Sounds about right. 20 degree coil at the moment. Oh. 18, 15 degree coil. Okay, we're looking a little low on our low side. As long as we don't come any lower than that. About 100 degrees on the high side. We're about 75 degrees out here right now, so it's about a 25 degree coil. We'll give it a second. We'll give it 5 minutes. Our box is 80 degrees inside at the moment. So we'll give it a minute to run for a little bit. Before we start judging pressures a little too harshly. We still have our service ports hooked up, so if we do end up needing to have to add more charge, we can pretty easily. Let's clean up this excess wet rag. Yep, we're coming up a little bit. We're at a 17 degree coil about. Yep, so we'll let that run. Coming down quick, we're at 16 degree coil, 103 on the high side, 183 psi on the high, 37 psi on the low. It's looking good so far. We'll go ahead and let it run for a little longer. Alright, just to update y'all, so I was seeing about an 8 degree coil right here when I was at a 40 degrees inside of that box. And so I decided to add a little bit of charge, so I added I hooked it back up and I added about 0.6 ounces. So that brings the total charge to, I put in 2.3 earlier, but we're gonna lose those 2 ounces and be at 2.1 when I end up closing these service ports. So that would be about a 2.7 ounce charge. So that's 0.6 ounces, 0.6 of an ounce more than what the data tag says. And we're still at about a 17 degree coil, 15 degrees. That's about 32, something like that, 32, 33. But this thing should be satisfying here pretty soon. I like that a lot better than what I was seeing, 8 degrees. It'll probably be up like 6 degrees right now that it's been running for a little bit longer. So, but I don't want to put any more than that over the initial charge. I will go ahead and write it right here. So that's 0.6 plus the 2.1, it's 2.7. So I will write right here on the back of the unit. And today is August 26th, and it just satisfied right now. 26/25. Turn the unit off. Turn that off. Alright. So we're going to use this tool right here to go ahead and squeeze down our line. Loosen it up just a bit. There we go. Alright, get ready, snip it. Alright. Alright. Test it. We don't have any flame coming out. Doesn't appear to be. It looks like we're sealed. Take our tool off, like so. Brazed back on for R290. You do not want to leave any service ports. It will void warranty if you do. So especially on newer units, you do not want service ports on these. So we got those brazed up, brazed shut, no leaks, new copper spun filter dryer. So then we ended up diagnosing a bad hot gas valve. So now we're here doing that change out. So we're gonna get started with this. I've already pulled the ice machine out, and I have also emptied out all the ice out of the bin. That way our drain isn't leaking a ton of water. So we have our filter dryer, we have our solenoid coil, we have our hot gas valve, and then we have our strainer. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pull from the end of the filter dryer and just pull out. Like so. And we'll dunk that in the water. And we'll go ahead and start with our hot gas valve. We'll go ahead and turn our heat down just a tad. And with this hot gas valve, I want to do that bottom port first. And then that way I can pull up, and then I can pull this hot gas valve away from the strainer. So that's how we're going to attempt this at the moment. So we'll go ahead and get the torch in, just like so. Grab our hot gas valve. Let it heat up first. And then once we think it is hot enough, we will start slightly pulling. There we go. And in and out it goes. We'll go ahead and start right on our strainer. And we'll pull the hot gas valve away from the strainer. Okay, start here. Same thing, make sure you get it hot enough. You don't want to start pulling too hard and you end up breaking the pipe. And you're gonna have a lot more work on your hands. Little bit of flame out. Looks like we had some stuff stuck in that strainer, it appears. That's what can happen. So you got just like so. We'll take the caps off of this. And we will go ahead and place it in place. Slides right on. Alright. We love when our pieces like to go in nice and easy. We don't have to do a ton of fidgeting. Alright. And as you can see, we have some arrows right here pointing towards flow. So we will make sure that it's pointing towards our hot gas valve. Alright. Go in here, we have our filter dryer. So we have direction of flow. Of course, we're going to be pointing away from our condenser coil. pipe back in here, and then we will use our channel locks. We'll start melting some of that solder that's there, and then we'll push it in, push the pipe in a little more for that filter dryer. All right, but just so I can show you guys, so we have filter dryer here, one weld fully covered in the wet rag. We have one weld there, one weld here, connected to our hot gas valve, fully covered in our wet rag, and then we have one weld right down there Other side of our strainer, the outlet looks good all the way around. And then the bottom of our hot gas valve. We look like we are sealed. Charge up to, with nitro, up to 150 psi. Just like so. Okay. Give it a little bit of a tap. Just like so. All right, we have had it on a nitrogen test for about 20 minutes now, and we are still at 150 psi on both sides. We haven't leaked anything at all. So closing our gas balance now. Gas balance is now closed. We are already under 1,000 within seconds. All right. We'll set a timer for the vacuum. I like to have my vacuums run for at least 30 minutes to an hour. All right, so we are finished with the vacuum. I just had it on a decay test. I just took the hoses off. Both sides for the hoses are closed. And our microns are reading 240. We have been on a decay test for about 10 minutes now, and I believe we were at 220. So it's only went up 20 microns, and it's been staying at 240 for about 5 minutes, I'd say. So looks like we do have a good vacuum. Hook up our gauges. This system needs to be charged with 13.4 ounces of 404. So we got our tank of 404 here. Go ahead and open this tank up. Upside down, so that way we're charging it with nothing but liquid. We'll go ahead and tear that, make sure we're at 0, which we are. Then we will go ahead and purge our hoses, open our valves. We will close our micron gauge port, and we will go ahead and just take our micron gauge off. Okay. Alright. Then we will go ahead and purge our hoses with the high side, just like so, and then we will do it at the low. Just like so. And then we'll just do it at our yellow hose, just to ensure we have no air in our hoses. So that was 4 ounces right there that we just took in to get into our gauges. We're also going to zero that out. That way we know exactly how much is going into the system. We are not accounting for what is in our gauges whatsoever. And then we will go ahead, I will close both of these. I will open my high side, and I will charge through my high side first. Okay, 13.4 ounces. our wrench. Alright. Then we'll go and throw our back panel back on. Alright, we'll go ahead and plug in the machine. It should already be in ice. So after a delay, it should go into a harvest. Alright, our machine is in ice mode. Our fan is spinning, compressor is running, water is running over the plate, as we can see here. Alright, ice machine just clicked into a harvest. Recycle just finished. It looks like it was a 24-minute, 55-second freeze. Ice thickness looks good. We're dropping pretty consistently. We're timing this harvest cycle as well. It does look like a harvest valve is opening, otherwise our ice would not be falling into the plate at the moment. So harvest valve is operating properly. While that continues to drop ice, I'm going to put the top panel back in place. Low. Just like so. All right, harvest cycle just kicked out. Harvest time was 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So both harvest and freeze cycles look like they're operating properly. So that should be good. We're gonna pack up our stuff, and this ice machine is working properly. All right, guys, so all good with that. So ice machine hot gas valve, we were having an intermittent issue with it. So basically every about 6 months with this ice machine, it would go off on that evap 1 beep, the high evap temp. We'd have to come out. By the time we got out here, because this is out in Reno and we're based of course in Sacramento, as soon as we get out here, the ice machine would have already settled down. The customer had it unplugged, and then the temp alarm would disappear. We'd reset it, and then we'd find no issues, because basically that hot gas valve, whatever was stuck with it, ended up getting force shut or resetting when we got out here, and then it'd start working again. So it was really hard to diagnose, but we got that hot gas valve in nice and quick. The charge is all good, ice machine's all good, time's good, our freeze batch is good, our harvest cycle is good, our ice thickness is good, everything's working properly. But sometimes you're gonna have those calls where, you know, you got an issue that's only happening once every 6 months, or maybe even once every year, and you just gotta try to figure out how to get around that and exactly what part is the most likely cause for what exactly is happening. But that's it for this one, guys. If you guys learned anything, you guys have anything to say, if you guys have any other ideas of what how you would have diagnosed this unit or anything like that, or how you would have installed a new gas valve, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. But other than that, see y'all.